Good afternoon, everybody. Wise Consulting Lives, we are back. We're going to start probably about 2 or 3 minutes, waiting for people to come in. We miss y'all. I know we've been going for a few months, but we are definitely happy to have everyone back. So please share, let people know we're on live. Tonight, our guest will be Gerald Vanette, the owner and pitmaster of Big Papi Smokehouse. So like I said, 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll start. Hey everybody, thank y'all for joining us. Like I said, we're going to start in a few minutes. Let me know, put a thumbs up if y'all can hear me, please. Hey Gerald.
What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How's
Good, good.
everybody doing?
Doing good. We're going to start probably about like 2 more minutes. We're just inviting people still. So you can send out to all your people, to join the live, the link, share the link with them.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Cuz, what's hell, Mr. Eugene? Boy, I almost pulled up on you today to get them turkey necks. I don't know how to get rid of this. Ooh, out. Don't want that.
Hey everybody, thank y'all for joining us. That's everybody who's joining. We're gonna start in about 1 minute. We just let more people come
However,
in before we start. So if you know anybody, let them know that we're on live today, and you can invite them. And we're about to start in 1 minute.
bow, 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 bow.
Okay, we're gonna start. Everybody, thanks again. Like I said, Wise Consulting Lives are back. We took a little hiatus while I was on maternity leave.
Hey, bro.
But we are back, and tonight we have a repeat guest, Mr.
A
Gerald
repeat.
Vanette. He
What's
Yes, a
going
repeat. He is the owner and pitmaster of Big Papi Smokehouse.
on?
Recently, he was the finalist on Netflix Barbecue Showdown season 3. So we are very happy to have him tonight. We just want to, talk to him to see like his journey from the last time he was here with us and where he is now and how he got there, how he's feeling, and just like any more gems that he wants to share with entrepreneurs, who are just starting out or are confused or don't know. We do these lives to give small businesses an outlet, to learn different things that they may not know on their journey, things that we wish we knew when we started our company. So, Gerald, the floor is yours. Just kind of tell us, like, from when you came with us the last time you interviewed, probably about 4 or 5 months ago, how has things grown with your business since that last interview?
Yeah. Well, first off, appreciate everybody for joining in. Thank you for coming back. I know we had a little time off, and I was wondering when you was coming back, and I'm happy that we're here now. So
Thank
thanks
you.
everybody for joining and hopping in on the live with Wise Consulting. How has my life changed drastically? Actually, just in the last week or so. But it's been good, man. Still trying to, I guess, carve my niche and find my way in this world, especially with the success of the show. And I feel good calling it a success, not just for me. I mean, but the show is like top 5 in Netflix right now. So kudos to Netflix and all the cast members and that whole deal. I think we put out a good thing. So now we just in this new territory of the phone ringing constantly and the text messages and the DMs, which I'm greatly appreciative for. And honestly, things that we always pray for, right? And when things come in, like when people say in an abundance, you kind of got to remember the times that you wanted it, and now that you got it, just kind of take it as it comes. And I'm just kind of taking it as it comes. I'm enjoying everybody. I'm responding to all DMs and messages. I'm even like video chatting people when they don't even expect it, just random people, which is actually a cool thing to see too. Like I just had a guy asking about ribs, and instead of texting him, I like video chatting. He was like, "Hey, whoa." So yeah, man, we're just trying to engage like in engage as many people as possible, man. Because when you have a business, you got to understand that you're in a customer. You're, you're you're in customer service. Like
Mhm.
you're literally in customer service. So you want to make sure that you give the customers what they want and then a little bit extra. So yeah,
So what what else? Somebody said thought he'd be pocket dialed him.
that was
So
them.
what advice do you have for entrepreneurs who are like just starting out? Like I know your story. You said you just started out in the backyard doing
Yeah.
family barbecues and kind of evolved from there. So what is your advice for people who are just starting out, or maybe it's a hobby right now, kind of how you had, and now they want to turn it into a business? Like, what are like maybe two or three things that you think that they should focus on as new business owners?
I, I used to say, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And while that is true, I think the most important thing that I found out is, man, if you want to do something, you got to put yourself in those spaces. Um, I did barbecue as much as I want to in my backyard, but it only stayed in the backyard. And I was only
Mm-hmm.
as good as the backyard. Granted, I feel like I was really good in the backyard, but things didn't change until I really got into like doing competitions, even though I wasn't ready for it, and not being afraid to talk to people and ask questions. Because one thing about me, I always, and it's been my entire life, I just never wanted to really bother people. So
Mm-hmm.
I always depended on trying to figure things out for myself, which is cool and I guess admirable when you think about it, but it also stunts your growth and how fast it's supposed to be. When if I know that uh if I know somebody that does really good ribs, why would I sit back and just try to perfect ribs and keep making the same mistakes over and over and over when I can just look left or call somebody and ask them a question, and they 9 times out of 10 would be willing to answer their question. And then I got so much better that much quicker just because um I wasn't scared to ask. So when things really changed for me, honestly, was when I got into spaces with people who were better than me, light years better than me, and who had done it before. So I feel like it's very important, man, to have confidence in yourself, to put yourself out there and get in those spaces that even though sometimes you may feel like you don't belong or belong there yet.
Well, speaking on that, like, going into spaces where you feel and belong, like, how important has networking been for you as your journey, of a business owner? Like, what is networking? How has networking helped you, and what has it done for you so far?
Yeah, it's been great. Just because you get to bounce ideas off of people who've done it before. Your names gets spoken in places that you normally wouldn't be had you not been there. Um, like I said, everything changed for me honestly when I met Anwar Robinson back in I believe it was like 2021 to 2022. Again, shout out to Anwar. He will always be my big brother, man, and he has been nothing but an open book for me. Like and so he kind of been showing me the way in this barbecue thing and been showing me and been open and just honest with me. And it's because the spaces that he has put me in, I have met other people. And I'm doing the same thing by bringing other people along with me. So listen, it's been just networking is it literally is in an end all be all, not the end all be all, but it's so important, and it even gets bigger than like the actual barbecue space. Like I know a lot of barbecue guys, people who I never thought I'd be able to meet for in my life, people that I have followed literally since like 2008, 2009, that I can call right now and know that they would answer the phone and 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 do their best to help me with whatever issue I have. But it's even past that. Like when you get into catering and things like that, it's about getting in contact with like event planners and people who host parties and people who own venues and inside venues, outside venues. It's
Golf
you
tournaments.
can only get so far. You can only get so far by yourself before you kind of need somebody else to kind of push you along or even like steer you in the right direction. So that networking is key. Get your community. Yeah, the barbecue community is a great thing. But no, really reach out, meet people. Don't be scared to talk. Don't be scared to ask questions. Don't be scared to look awkward or be nervous, man. Because at the end of the day, we are really all just people. Like literally,
Hmm.
just people. So
Hmm.
yeah,
And I'm glad you did say that because I know sometimes as business owner, we like sometimes don't want to network because we feel like, oh, we're in the same field, so it's competition. But I'm glad that you honed on that, that you can still be in the same, field and everything like that and still learn something from somebody. Somebody can learn something to you to help your company
right.
grow. Like one thing won't, being in the same industry won't stop what you have going on by helping someone else that's doing the same thing that you are. And I know sometimes as business owners, when we're like, okay, you do barbecue or you sell something, this and that, we get so stuck on the product of what we're doing. How can you speak on the importance of the business aspect of the website, the social media marketing, merchandise? Like, talk about that part because I know, like, we know, like, okay, if I'm selling hair, I'm all into the hair. I'm all into the hair, but we then forget about all the other things that's going to make your business grow. So, as being a pit master, barbecue is your focus, catering and cooking. What it was about the business side of things that you do that you felt that has helped you grow?
First, rum chugger, I appreciate you. Thank you. I don't feel like I'm an inspiration, but listen, I appreciate that because I've learned to accept like what not the praises but the good things that people say to me. So first,
Hmm.
I appreciate that. First, um, the business side of things outside of the barbecue is it's so big to me, especially now because when we got on the show and when we finished, um, we just from speaking to people who was on the show earlier, they kind of prepped us for things that was to come. Like, hey man, you can take this as far as you want to go, or as little as you want to go. If you just want to be the person and be like, hey man, I was on Netflix and I did well, and this is what you want to hang your head on for the rest of your life, then that's fine. That's totally up to you. But if you want more, you got to be able to give more. You got to be prepared to give more. So it's just simple things like, hey man, like modernizing your stuff. Like man, have a website, but not only just have a website because obviously the internet has changed like since been. But it's about like consolidating things. Like make sure your stuff is easy to get to. Make sure it's easy to access. Make sure it's user friendly. Just all those types of things. A hard thing that I'm dealing with right now is people always want to know where you're gonna be at. What's this? Where you
Hmm.
gonna be at? How can I get this? How can I be there? And guess what, guys? I'm working on it. Trust me, I'm working on it. Uh, but it's just that you want to be the ease of access. Like I can have the best ribs or the best food in the world, but if people don't know where, how they can get to it or get it, then it's totally irrelevant because you really just a walking Instagram profile. Like people can just see it, but they can't get to it. Um, so handling the business and like even when it comes to making the money part of it, because I was always a person that just kind of like it never was about the money for me. Like I just wanted to be good at what I do. But then I mean it's that only lasts for so long, right? Because at the end of the day, like man, I could put my whole life and all my savings in barbecue, but like how does that help me? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like I am for profit,
Hmm.
obviously, and you want to be able to have a sustainable business model so that you can actually live and continue to do the things that you love. Which, like I said, right now, barbecue is one of the things that I love. I love to do it. Like man, I love sitting in front of this hot grill all day doing that type of stuff. But you gotta be able to make profit and money to continue to do the things that you love. So having a good business model and trying to find those deals on meat and paper products and things and in the economy where things are going high, you got to be able to first off make sure that you're getting your worth. And that doesn't mean like just overcharging people for average food or
Hmm.
things like that. But it's literally like having a plan and working it out and making sure that you stick to the plan and not over splurging on things that you think you need but you didn't need or it's literally like having a plan. You got 200 people, you got 300 people, you got 400 people. Like, what's your plan on selling this? What are they gonna eat? What are they not like? It's really deep into everything. You just have to give thought.
Hmm. And I'm glad that you said that because I know a business owner, like you said before, like, we get caught in what we're products, but we never think about the business side. And I'm glad you said about putting money in
Mhm.
to it, because we think that you're going to start a business and then, oh, we're going to just make all these hundreds of thousands of dollars, and
Yep.
that's not how it works. So like, I'm glad you said that. And for like our business owners in the chat right now, it's like you have to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself or believe in yourself to give to yourself, to give to your business financially, how do you expect a bank to want to lend to you,
Sure.
or a private lender want to lend to you, if they see that you're just trying to do the bare minimum, to be able to run your business? And then also too, what you said about pricing, like, yes, always charge what you're worth. I know we get in these habits when, oh, it's like a family member, it's a friend, and this and that, but the
Yeah. Yeah.
realization of it is, if they were going to someone else, they're paying full price. So why shouldn't they pay you full price? And it gets in the, when you start doing that, people starting to expect that every time
Mhm.
they get something from you, they're
Mhm.
gonna
Mhm.
want a
Mhm.
deal, they're
Mhm.
gonna expect a deal. So stick to your prices, but then also too, your prices have to match the quality of what you're putting out. Like if you're not putting out a quality product, then your prices should not be sky high. But if you know that you're giving, like you said, the best cuts of meat, you're doing this, you're the
Yep.
presentation, all of those things count as a business owner for your pricing. So, and also too, people will take you more serious. Like as a business owner, you want to be
Right.
taken seriously. So if you doing your presentation of food on a paper plate, like people are not going to take you serious. So it's like you have to put whatever you put into your business. Everyone in the chat, that is definitely what you're going to get out of it. So I'm glad that you said that part, that is just not, you're just trying to get by. Like, you, as much as you pour in to anything that you do, that is
Mhm.
how successful that it's going to be. So another thing, Gerald, is like, I know everything's kind of like taking off. How do you balance the catering, being a dad, being a husband, a brother? I know you're very involved in your family's church. Like, how are
Yeah.
you balancing all that with this new, I'll call it stardom, because I see you got a blue check now. So I'm so happy I could even get you on my show with your blue check. But how are you balancing all of that? Because I know as business owners too, a lot of people say, it's not many people who can start off and just say, I'm not going to work my 9 to 5 no more. I have
Right.
to do the 9 to 5 to continue to pour into my business. And sometimes a lot of people say the time management is a hard part. So how, with all this new found success and how your business has grown so rapidly, how are you balancing all of those things in your life?
Yeah. Nevaeh mama, first, Nevaeh's mommy. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's all I'm saying. I appreciate that. Um, it's it's a not that it's a struggle, but it's just another it's not a struggle. It's not an obstacle. It's just another thing, right? So it's kind of like you you know what's important to you in life, right? And at the end of the day, to me personally, even the reason I do all of this is because of my family and because of my sons and things like that. And one of the growing, not the growing, one of the things that I wanted to get across in the show is that a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is not, it's not for me. Like, it's literally not for me. Like, I do this stuff because I enjoy it, but I got two sons that I'm trying to leave a legacy for, right? But what good is the legacy of me trying to leave to them if I can't enjoy it while they're this age, right? You know what I'm saying? So one of the best things I always say for stuff, one of the best things that came from this show for me was, like, I could be sitting in the living room watching TV, and then my 7-year-old would be like, "Hey man, I want to watch Dad's barbecue movie." And that's wild to me. It's so wild to me because he'll go to Netflix and hit it and just choose his favorite episode is the tail. No, it's not. His favorite episode is the trench episode where I'm just like running the whole time. Um, so just to be able to to let them have their moment, that moment, which will forever be a moment, because even though Netflix is probably gonna go somewhere, that content is not going anywhere.
Mhm.
So just to be able to see them, and they kind of understand that, hey, daddy's doing this and I can do it also. It is a big deal to me. Um, I was some of my mentors just in trying to handle the whole thing. They kind of prep you and prepare you for the things as much as possible, right? Um, about just like the different business opportunities and all this other stuff. And the most honest of things that I've probably heard is like not to get too big on it. Like some people get all this and lose their mind, and thinking like they're the next hot thing and they all this and all that. And I feel like I'm a grounded person, right? Like a lot of things. I had a great dad and a great family that kind of exposed us to a lot lot of things, right? Like we were allowed to take trips and go different places. So a lot of the stuff people that people can tempt to it, it's kind of like, hey, okay, like I done did this and I done did that. It's not like I'm out there running and trying to get anything out of the way, and it's just being able to stay grounded in the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing is it's kind of important to me.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because like I think we sometimes lose ourselves sometimes in businesses. Like we just
Yeah,
like you don't ever want to get to the point in your business, and this is like everybody in the chat, to where you're just chasing the dollar. 'Cause if you're chasing the dollar,
right.
you're gonna always be chasing something.
Always
So you
chasing
have
it
to
down.
have yeah, you have to have a purpose, a reason, like what keeps you grounded in your business. And when things feel like it's too much, that's when you always go back to that purpose, and that will settle you, to get you to keep on going to like, where you are. So I know that we
Right.
know that you cook. We know that you do. Your ribs
Mhm.
are my favorite. Every time you got
There you
ribs,
go.
I like you got ribs. That's
Yeah,
my favorite. Your macaroni and cheese are my two favorite things. But with a
there you go.
business, how are you expanding outside of just selling food and doing catering? What other products that you have out right now, or that you're thinking about to help you grow? Because that's one thing that I always try to tell businesses, especially with our consulting company, is that you need to diversify yourself. Like, don't just be stuck on if you sell hair, you can, go
Sure.
into lashes and wigs and things like that. So, what are you doing with your catering company to where, like, diversifying yourself outside of just the food part?
Right. So right now, what I've realized is, unbeknownst to me, like this whole poppy thing, which is wild because it like everything else, Big Poppy Smokehouse just kind of started in the backyard that I'm sitting in right now. But it's kind of taking a like form of his own, like his own personality, and it is me. It is all me. But so just diversifying like in hats and merch, which to me is pretty normal, but I guess in hindsight it's kind of not. But it's not just like random hats. It's like a hat that I fully put thought into and stuff that I would like and the stuff that I would wear and stuff that I feel like other people would like to wear. So hats. Um, I want to get into like on-site cooks and doing festivals and not just being like when I say festivals, I don't just mean like being a vendor. I actually want to be a spotlight at a festival and show
Mm-hmm.
people, hey man, this is how I cook. This is what I got going on, and this is where we're at with it. I want to be able to showcase my family and things that my family does. um, I understand that a lot of me is my personality. Personality. It's the braces, guys. It's the braces. I promise you, it's the braces. Right. So one thing that I like to do, I'm a big fan of going out and meeting people and talking to people and interacting with people. That's really what I like to do. And in my mind, while I am fully confident in a menu and a catering and doing all that good stuff, and I have great customer service. I would, I think I love actually going out and meeting people and interacting with people than sitting in the kitchen and just pushing out food, pushing out food, pushing
Mm-hmm.
out food. Um, so just to be able to add like the human element of it and actually, like I said, going out and meeting people and taking pictures and doing that whole thing is kind of what I really, really like to do. I'm a big fan. Listen, when people book me to do like retirement parties and birthday parties and family reunions, being able to see that side of people because you meet people and they say, hey man, I want to do this and we got this going on. Like you kind of meet them just by, hey man, I want the ribs, I want the mac and cheese, can you do crawfish, and I want a brisket. Like you get a little bit of people, but it's different when you're in their backyard and they got their whole family and their uncle who reminds me of my uncle and the cousins and that whole thing. So it's actually like being able to do all that type of stuff. To another thing in the arsenal, if I can say, it's kind of what I like to do.
Mm-hmm. And then, as we have people in the chat, we have a lot of people. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Y'all feel free to
Yeah,
put questions
appreciate
in there
y'all.
for Gerald. And like when we do these lives, we like it to be interactive, just not me and him talking. So any questions that you have, if you're an entrepreneur, you're thinking about starting, or just you want to ask some questions about stuff from the show, just drop them in the chat. And as we continue to talk, we'll definitely stop and address those. And like going back to the show, Gerald, like what are some of the challenges that you had, and then what are some of the things that you took away now that's going to help you continue to grow with your business? You can start with your challenges first.
Yeah, yeah, man. I would say the biggest challenge is I had never been on TV before, right? And it's kind of like that show was different than any other show. Um, because some of them shows, or some other shows on TV, when you talk about cooking, they always try to they make their money, not that they make their money, but they tend to lean toward the conflict of it. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I like you, you don't like me, and obviously that's y'all don't know me. That's really not my personality. So I ended up like on the right show, and I'm extremely grateful for that. Um, so the challenging part for me was just getting over a personal fear,
Mm-hmm.
which was kind of like, hey man, when I'm used to cooking in the backyard and just doing my thing, and hey man, cuz is this good or not? And you know, culturally, hey man, if your stuff bad, we're gonna tell you it's bad. And the worst thing you got to do is get over that part of it. But it's a little bit different than going on TV and you putting something bad, and then like the whole world knows, hey man, I done messed this up. Oh, you don't put nutmeg in the macaroni, in the mac and cheese. You know? I don't. So just being able to get over your fear of rejection, man, or people of other people's thought is big. And I know we could put that just on cooking, but it's really in life, just in
Mm-hmm.
general. Like some people would literally drive themselves crazy because of the idea of how other people think about them.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally drive themselves crazy over it. And I was one of them because obviously I'm a very happy-go-lucky guy, man. I like to meet people, I like to talk to people. So at one point in my life, I was, for lack of better terms, I'm a people pleaser. Hey, man, I want you to like me so much that I will go out my way to and literally like neglect myself to make sure that you're happy just because you can say, hey, man, Gerald is good. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate. So like to get past that part and the fear of, hey man, these people might not like my stuff, but I'm gonna do my best and I'm gonna give everything I got, and wherever the chips land is where they're gonna land. It is exactly how it's supposed to do. Where can I try your food? I am located in St. Charles Parish, one of the greatest parishes in the world in Louisiana. So we're gonna start doing pop-ups. Follow Big Papi Smokehouse.com. This is a shameless plug, by the way, guys. I'm sorry. BigPapiSmokehouse.com, and you'll get my schedule. I'm doing Grill and Chill Fest. If you want to get tickets for that, it's in Corsicana, Texas, which is about 45 minutes below Dallas. So y'all can come out there. Alligator Fest, and stay on my schedule for doing pop-ups. Just letting you everyone know. Shameless plug. Thank y'all so much. What was we talking about?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
great. And that's okay. We had one other question. Allwood Access asks, did you think about doing a YouTube channel?
Yes. So,
Mm.
yes. So that's coming. So I'm actually going on vacation a little bit because I need to like redirect some stuff. But when I get back, this is what we can look forward to. So I'm going to do for all the stuff that I cooked on the show. I'm going to be re-cooking those things for you guys. I'll also be giving commentary on things that I was thinking about during that show. I think it's a pretty dope idea. Hopefully y'all like it. So when we talk about the beer brownies, to the ribs, to the mac and cheese, to everything I did on the show, we will be doing a episode by episode recap on it. And like I said, I will show you guys how I do it. You want to go in and copy it, but the expectation, guys, is that when y'all do it yourself, y'all got to show it to me. That's my only requirement. Everything else is fair game. But if y'all gonna do it, all I ask is that y'all say, no, they're gonna have nutmeg. They're gonna have a
Yeah,
little bit of nutmeg.
they was on you about that
Y'all gotta
nutmeg on
let
the
this
show.
nutmeg go. There wasn't even a lot of nutmeg. So yeah, we're gonna do that whole deal, and I think it's gonna be dope. It's a great idea. Um, I can't wait to do it, and we look at doing it like in maybe 2-3 weeks from now, because I want to give everybody a chance to like watch the show and see it and enjoy that whole process. So yeah, what you
And
gotta
then,
get
like he said,
nutmeg?
and like he said, everybody, like you can follow him. He has his Instagram.
Yeah.
Is at Big
Pit,
Papi.
Pit
What's his name?
Master Poppy,
Yeah,
and then Big
and then
Pop
he has his business page,
Smokehouse.
Smokehouse.
Yeah,
Can you drop those in the chat, Gerald? So make sure you
yeah,
go follow
absolutely,
him. His
absolutely.
website is www.bigpapismokehouse.com, but with one S. Make sure you also follow Wise Consulting too.
Please do.
We do a lot of things with small businesses. We do these lives. So we just like to drop in the middle of the thing to make sure you follow everybody so you can just continue to keep up with everything, keep the gems and all of those things. Gerald, so
So,
one question.
okay.
Did you ever dream that it would get to where you are right now
Oh no,
when you
no, indeed not.
started?
No. I didn't think I could dream this far. I always just thought I'd be working at a power plant the rest of my life and then just like retire and then ride off into the sunset and do that whole deal. But man, barbecue has opened up, man, such a wide lane for me. Um, and I never expected it, and I also never expected like the amount of resistance that I got from it. But that's kind of just what showed me how I'm supposed to be doing it because if everything came easy, you take it for granted. And I want y'all to know I honestly don't take any of this stuff for granted. So like no, I never thought I'd be able to do it. The fact that I can do it, what I am doing it is great. And honestly, I tell people all the time, I kind of feel like I'm on autopilot. Like I'm not even driving this car. Like I'm in the passenger seat, and we just like kind of swerving. I'll never forget. And this is a very like I guess personal moment. I remember when I was going through it, the the not the tryouts, but the whole like audition part of it. And I think the lady kind of asked me, like, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel about going through this? Like, you made it this far. Like, you might make, you might not make it. I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. In real time, whether the way I've been living my life, like the last, like through this process, like whether I make this show or whether I not make this show, I feel like I'm gonna win. Like, how would you live your life if you knew you couldn't fail, right? And failing does not always mean winning. And that's a big deal because if you really look at it, I don't know. I would imagine most of y'all saw it. So I didn't win the show. I didn't win it. I
You
just didn't.
you should have won.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, listen, I didn't win the show,
Hmm.
but I also didn't lose.
Yes,
Like so,
yes.
when I literally tell you, like, man, how would you live your life if you knew you couldn't lose? It wasn't literally about like winning everything. Like it's not winning first place every time. It's not winning first place every time. Everybody's not gonna win first place every time. But when I tell you I won, I won. I should have won. I hear all
Yeah.
that. But we won, guys. Listen, hear
Uh-huh.
me. We won. I promise
Yeah.
you, we
And
won.
I
We good.
and I'm
We
glad
good.
I'm glad you did say that, Gerald, because like you said, like you did not maybe win the show, but with everything that's just coming after the show and how you're growing and everything, that is
Yeah.
definitely a win for you. Someone asked in the chat, like, where's restaurant located? And do you ever host meet and greets for your fans? Boy, you got fans
I,
now. Do you ever do meet
and
and
that's
greets for your
wild to me
fans?
too, guys. That's wild to me. That's wild. Um, so currently I do not have a restaurant. I am actively, and when I say actively, I mean actively. I'm trying to locate a space, if not for a brick and mortar, at least a place that we can sit and hang out, man. Because I know y'all like to hang. I know we like to hang, and I like to hang too. So, we looking for we're looking for a location that we can do just that. Um, that's all the details I can give y'all right now. Because
Yeah,
I'm really big on,
yeah,
some stuff you got to keep to yourself until. Come and be honest with y'all. Listen, a lot of people not happy about this. I know we
yeah.
happy because I'm happy. I know y'all happy because y'all here, but a lot of people not gonna be happy.
Hmm.
So y'all just kind of let's tune in together. Let's all bring it in and let's just pray to whoever you pray to, and we're gonna make this happen.
Hmm.
And then we all have a big old family reunion together. You know what I mean? We all gonna have a family.
And
So yeah,
are you interested? Are you going to be doing meet and greets too? That was the second
yeah,
part of the question.
yeah. Like I said, I like to meet people. I love to meet people. So yes, we're gonna do meet and greets. Um, ASAP. To be honest with you, y'all want to do it tomorrow? Well, y'all want me that tomorrow? It's Friday. So wait, and I
um,
gotta wait though because I'm going on a little trip real quick.
mhm.
But yeah, so
And
we'll figure
J
it all out.
J Brown 504, you can actually go to his website and you can purchase the hats and merch. They have snapbacks, they have the adjustable ones, www.bigpoppysmokehouse.com, 1S,
Mhm.
and you can buy thing. You can also communicate with Gerald. There's a contact page if you
Yeah,
have questions. You're looking for a catering or something like that. all that can be done, on his website. Let me see.
Listen, I
Finalist
also answer all
Barbecue.
DMs. It might take me a while. It might take me a while, but I answer all DMs, emails, the whole thing. I'm about to take my number off because y'all have been calling, and that's weird to me. I love y'all. I love y'all. But what are we doing?
And then, Gerald, I do have another question. I do have another thing for you. Like, I know, like you said, like everything's been a blessing, how things are coming
Yeah,
in. You're so humble. So, how do you, outside of the for-profit part of your business, how do you give back to your community? Because I know one big part of the show is like,
yeah.
you shout out St. Rose till you couldn't no more.
Love
If
them.
people didn't know where St. Rose
Love
was
them.
before the
You
barbecue
better know
showdown,
now.
they
You're
definitely
going to know
know now. I
now.
mean, I live in St. Rose. I love it too. But how
Um,
do you give back into the community that, from the show, it seems that,
mhm.
the community is what kind of made you into what you are today.
Yeah,
It's kind of how you said on the show. So how do you give back to St. Charles Parish, St. Rose, and things like that?
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. If y'all saw the show, obviously I'm a PK. My dad is a pastor, and he has been pastor at a church that has been in St. Louis like since like 1874. And those dates might not be correct, guys. I do not have a program in front of me, but a very long time, very long time, man. So like we do food drives and things like that. We do family and friends. They will provide the barbecue and that whole deal. Also, we do football camps. So we provide food for the youth. So Macon Clark had a camp. We just did Ed Reed's football camp at Destrehan High School. Um, we do all. Well, I'm not gonna say all. I would love to do all if y'all gonna let me.
Mm.
Uh, but we cook for the local high school, Destrehan High School, the greatest high school in the world. Um, for a Friday
You
night
and you
football game.
can't be going cook at Harville. You gotta stay right here at Destrehan. You can't be doing them camps and all over there. You stay at
but,
Destrehan, okay?
but listen, we're
I'm just
gonna
saying
talk about it
with
on
you.
cam. We're gonna talk about it on cam. Um, and also we do halls for the cause, folks. So I'm happy that we said it. So
Mhm.
halls for the cause is very near and dear to my heart. It's one of the first festivals that I ever did when I started doing barbecue. It is a festival in New Orleans where we raise funds for pediatric cancer research development. It's for housing and things along those lines, and that is in April. It's about 95 to 100 barbecue teams where it's like I say, a food festival and a barbecue competition. So if you find yourself in New Orleans or the surrounding areas the first or second week in April, by all means, man, make sure y'all make it out to the Lakefront Arena and come hang with us. I plan on doing something big this year. Every Friday night we have Papi's Friday night party. I would love to see all you guys here, and we may have a bunch, a lot, a little special guests of people that y'all may have seen before me, not have seen before. So yeah, man, I'm really big on like giving back because I remember being young and like in high school and like just it like meant something to me to see like Ed Reed come back and just show you like what you can like what you could be and which is so crazy for me because in my mind all I do is barbecue, right? I am not a Ed Reed. I am not a Jordan Jefferson. Like I'm none of these people. But what I am is like not. I mean, you can literally be anything you want to be in this world. So I'm not gonna say more realistic, but to me, in my mind, I'm just a different avenue to show people. Like, man, listen, you can make it in this too. I didn't cook. I wasn't a cook growing up. Like I just like to have a good time. I went to LSU and I got my engineering degree and I work at a power plant and I do all that stuff. And then I just fell in love with putting meat on the grill and fire and smoke and things like that. And that took me here to where we at right now. So and I'm 38. So people always say like you don't have a time frame for stuff, and you really do not have a time frame for stuff. Like you could be whoever you want to be, whatever you want to be, as long as you're willing to put the work in, and you believe in yourself, and you surround yourself with good people, with the right people, which is very imperative. Like you put yourself with the right people, and like I said, in the right circles, and eventually it's gonna work out. You just gotta do it, man.
And, yeah, and I'm glad that you said that about, being like with the right people, because what people don't realize sometimes with your businesses, like who you are reflect who you're around sometimes does reflect you. Because I remember when I
Mm-hmm.
first started my consulting company and I, talked to people and they're like, how about we hire this influencer to do this and do that and that? And I was like, well, your customers are your influencers. The people
Yeah,
are spending their money with you, because at the end of the day, if you get one of these influencers to come and do a commercial something for you, and then the next day they get arrested for a DWI, or they get
that's
in
gonna shoot
jail or
on
this and
you.
that,
That
and
comes
people are
back
gonna be
on
like,
you.
"Oh, I just saw them on Big Papi Smokehouse page,"
Uh
and
huh.
things like
Uh huh.
that. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that you said that. Like, make sure that you are, like you said, not just pouring into your business, but also pouring into your network and making sure you are surrounding
Friends.
yourself around people that, first of all, that wants to see you win and are
Mm-hmm,
willing to
mm-hmm,
help, because you're gonna need help. Like, nobody can do anything on their own. Like me and you, we text all the time. Like, what do you think about
mm-hmm.
this? And you're like, well, what do you think about that? Like, and we're in
Yeah.
two different fields. So, like, I think that's a very important thing, because as business owners, we want to just be known so fast that we're going to pay for such and such to do a video for us who's never used your product, never tasted your food. They're just doing it because you're paying them. So I'm glad that that you did say that. So, yeah, before we end, we're gonna open up for some more questions. Before we end, like, what is your number one advice to anyone who wants to start a business, be in the business and feel like it's struggling or that they're stagnant? Like, what is your number one advice for those entrepreneurs?
Um. Number one advice. This is probably gonna be very unpopular, but you got to figure out if you really want to do it or not, and you are the only person that's gonna be able to figure that out. And I'm saying that because I went through that personally. Like, I went from being like doing this every day to, at the first uh, evidence or sense of struggle, like, I back. Like, I was like, all right, man, I ain't supposed to be doing this. And then I just like mentally gave up. Like, still like doing stuff, but mentally I was like, all right, we're just gonna roll with it. Just because I didn't want. Mm, that's not true. Not figure out. It's not about figuring out if you want to do it. I should have said it is figure out if it's worth you fighting for. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
was. Because when you find something that you really want to do, like, you really want to do it, like, you love it, you can't, like, you always think about it. People are going to want you to not do it because it's not going to be happy for. They're not happy for it because they don't want you doing it, and people going to fight you because they want to do it, but you the one doing it. And so you got to figure out how much you want to fight for it to get past that. And I had to realize that. Like, again, I was young. I just want everybody to be happy, man. I don't want no tension. I don't want to tussle with y'all. Nobody tussling, but I don't want to tussle with y'all, right? But you really got to figure out, like, if you really want to do it, understand that a fight is gonna come, and you got to
And how
figure
do you
out.
block out the noise? Like, and I was saying, like, how do you block out that noise, the negativity? I remember, like, when I was coaching and I used to my players, like, you cannot, like, you got to be
Yeah.
so into what we're doing that you don't even
Mhm.
hear the outside. So how do you do that? Because, like I said, you're really one of the most positive people that I know. And that was way back when we were working at Old Navy
Old Navy.
together. Yeah, Old Navy in 2025. I mean, 2005. You've always been like very helpful. Like, you showed me the ropes. So I know you're just that, personal,
Yeah.
good, personality. So how is somebody with a personality like yours, how do you block out that negativity that, maybe like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this? And you know how people just are. And like it's a lot of times it's because they either want to be where you are, or they're too afraid to even take that step to start a business. So how do you block that out? I mean, I think that would be good information for entrepreneurs, because that sometimes discourages you when you think you have
Yeah.
this support system that's telling you, oh no, don't do that, you can't do that. So how do you block that out?
I had a friend who recently talked to me about this the day the show came out. His name is Chef Tung Nguyen. Same
He's on the thing. He
English.
just sent you the message for you.
Understand, bro, that you're worthy. This is what he told me. I'll never forget it. Understand that you're worthy. Papi. It's his, I'm paraphrasing, but it's word by word. You're a good guy, and it's great that you're a good guy, but you got to understand that you are great. Everybody's not going to be happy with what you do, but it's not for them to be happy for you. Some things you got to do for yourself. If you are running a business, and this, you know it's what you want to do or what you're supposed to do, you got to block out everybody else because, again, like you said, everybody's not going to be happy for you. Not because they won't either be where you want to be at or they just hating just because people are going to be people. Keep going. If you feel like it's supposed to, like you're supposed to be doing what you're doing, and at the end of the day, you're the only person that's gonna be able to figure that out. I wish you could call Papi and Papi tell you, yeah, you're supposed to be doing it, but I can't. There's some things that you're going to figure out for yourself. So once you figure out that it's what you're supposed to be doing, like just do it. Find a way. Get in the circles. Like do your research. Whatever it takes for you to be great in that field, do it, but also go past that. Because I was always the person like, I'm gonna look at this and I'm gonna check it out, and I'm gonna do just enough to get there, not understanding that you got to go past that. Like you got to think about the next thing after that because it's gonna happen so fast that while you thinking that you done crossed this hurdle, boom, you're already on the next one. I was just on Netflix. Not gonna lie to you. I don't know if y'all did that. I was just on Netflix, right? I sat down, like breathe, and I was like, whew. And then I asked somebody that was like, hey, so you just gonna hang your head on you being on Netflix or you on to the next thing? And I was like, man, the show ain't even been off for 2 weeks. I can't sit down and chill. And the answer was no. Like, when you great, you great. You coming on camera or what? He gotta go. He got
And I'm glad you said that because I remember when you first started, and I was like, you gotta make a website, and you were like, oh no, I don't know about that. Maybe later, I'm gonna know about that. And then you just, you were like, I don't know, I'm just doing it like this. So I'm glad that you taking home to everything that people are giving, like advice that people are giving to you, but like like you said, like you put all into it, and that's with anything you do. Like I know we preach that, with our kids, like, but it's a true statement. Like whatever you put into something, that is what you're going to get out. And it's not going to always be a smooth road because if it was, that meant everybody would be doing it.
Yeah.
And it's not, and everything ain't for everybody. I mean, I know that's not proper English, but everything is not for everybody. So, I'm glad that you're telling this. But I know we have entrepreneurs in this chat, and I know people get discouraged. Like, you can go 1 week where you selling out booked every weekend, and then you could go a month where you're not, and then sometimes you got to pull yourself. I was like, well, what can I be doing more of? Okay, maybe I'm not booked for catering, but now I can be promoting my hats, or I could be promoting this and that. So that's just one of the things that, like, why I like to do these lives, is because I want people to know that, like, don't be content ever, and just like you gotta keep on fighting. Like it's not gonna always be easy. I mean, you can think about your regular 9-to-5 jobs. Those days are not always beautiful, easy. There's times when, that you're like, oh man, do I really want to come here? But that, like, this is your calling. And that's what I think people have to understand. You can't pick something just for the money. And I know I said that earlier about chasing money. You have a calling. We all have callings, whatever those callings may be. And when you do really find your calling, like you have to pursue it 110 and 20%, to get to where you want to be. And everybody's goals are different. That's something I do want to think before we get off. My goals, if I'm doing barbecue, me and your goals may not be the same. So don't get to the point as a business owner where you're comparing yourself to what other people have. Like, he's doing this many bookings a month, I should be doing that. But your life might not even be set up like that. Sometimes we be wanting stuff for ourselves that God don't want for us, or whoever don't, they don't want for us. So that's one thing as a business owner. Create your business plan. Create your goals of what you want to do and your strategic plans, and visit those throughout the year to make sure, like, okay, I said by 3 months I was going to be doing this. You can't be like, oh, Gerald's doing this, I got to help him do what he does. And that's where you get lost, and that's where your business gets staggered or things. So that's one thing. How can I do this? I see your vision. Oh, Allwood Accent makes custom wood pieces, Gerald. Check him out. He asks, how can he donate some items to your vision? So you can probably make you some nice big Papi Smokehouse stuff.
I'm gonna hit you in the DM after. I'm gonna hit you.
It's high quality stuff. I have some of his items. You're gonna love it. He does cutting boards and all those type of things. So before we get off, Gerald, what is any last words you want to say? And then we're gonna open up for Q&As, and then we'll be heading out.
Nothing, man. I Look, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me for a little bit. For real, I really do. It means a lot to y'all, a lot to me. That y'all was here. Man, that's literally about it, man. I can do this every day. Like, we can do this every day.
We can do
Well,
it. Hey,
maybe
we
not
can do
every
it
day.
every day. We can do it if you
Every,
want to.
every other day, something
Whenever
like
you
that.
want to. We can get on here and just drop gems and just talk and chat.
But yeah,
Um, Everybody in the chat, if you have any questions for me, any questions for Gerald, and then also too, if you are a business owner in the chat, please drop your business, like whatever your handle, your Instagram handle is, and what you do. And then we're gonna, follow each other. This is a network. We talked about networking early. You don't know who in this chat that can help you or that you can help. So right now, just take some time to drop your Instagram name and what you do. Somebody asked, when is your next event?
my next event on me and Tongue, who just asked that question, we gonna do a pop up together somewhere. Whenever he wants to do it, we can do it. It has to be one of the first 2 weeks in August because I'm not gonna lie, it's getting busy after that. I'm doing a Big Papi Smokehouse.com because I don't want to give y'all the wrong dates. I don't want to give y'all the wrong dates. Slow and Foe, St. Rock Market is on the corner of. I know how to get there. My bad. I know how to get there. I don't know the address. Corner of St. Rock and St. something. Come on. Put it in there, man. Put it in there because I don't. Yeah. Go to like I said, BigPapiSmokehouse.com and they have my schedule. A couple of events that we
Thank
got
Lord.
that I do have coming up. We're doing Alligator Fest, like I said. Just find out we're doing Grill and Chill Fest in Corsica County, Texas. Um, Pop-ups coming on the way, and like I said, me and Tongue gonna do a whole bunch of stuff together because we city boys. City boys. You up? Is that right,
And
Tongue?
you forgot.
Is that right?
And you also, I mean, we don't want to say too much, but you also have some media events coming up too. So,
Yeah,
be on
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
lookout for
yeah.
that
So
by
actually, yes, yes.
our local
Tomorrow,
people.
tomorrow I'm doing Good Day. Is that? I got some things coming up tomorrow. Just letting y'all know.
Hmm.
So just
Hmm.
be on the lookout, and yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah,
That's what
so
I
you
got.
be looking out, everybody, for Big Papi Smokehouse. And like I said, Gerald, we are extremely proud of you.
And
Like
thank you,
all the St. Charles Parish,
thank
St.
you,
Rose
thank you.
families, everybody, I mean, you do our golf tournament every year for us. So,
Yep,
everybody told everybody about that. Like that was the golf tournament that you were on the show. So we're just very proud of you. We wish you nothing but blessings. We are
appreciate
happy
you.
that you took the time out to join us. I mean, I was like, oh, I have to schedule something with him now because he's so busy. I got to get on this calendar. He's kind of on the end of the line. So we're happy. And we also too, we're just happy that you know yourself and that you like, share the real with us because that's a lot of time with
Yeah,
business owners. We think some of us think it's a fairy tale, and I'm glad I
sure.
like to have people on this show that's going to tell the good, the bad, and the ugly because it's not always perfect. It's not always bad. So like, I'm very happy that you were able to share those things with us. And we want to see you again in another 3 months to see where you are then. And then, like we said before, y'all, please make sure that you are following Gerald. His website is going to be where you can get all the information. He's taking his phone number off and he's got his
I got to
website
go.
on there.
I got to go, cuz.
He's,
This crazy. Well, y'all
and,
wild, bro. Y'all
and
wild.
he has a link tree now on his social media pages. So on the link tree, when you click that link, you can see everything: his website,
Yeah.
his hats, news articles, things that he has been in. So we definitely want to continue, like I said, to cheer for you, but also to follow you and support you any way that we can. That's one of the parts of this show is to help businesses also build their notoriety and their exposure even more. So, like I said, thank y'all again. If we could take this last minute, does anybody have any other questions for Gerald before he logs off? Let's wait 1 minute and see.
Tom, why you play so much? Just do it. Just, you know. Anything? Nothing at all.
Okay. Well, once again, Gerald, thank you. Thank everyone for joining us. And then we were on for about an hour. We try to, be conscious of
Mm-hmm.
everyone's time. Thank y'all for taking time to join us. And like we said before, make sure you're following everybody. We will, somebody said, wishing you much success, Ventrell.
Thank you, P.
We will share this live and share it out in case you missed it. And like I said, make sure if you haven't tried Gerald's ribs, you need to try Gerald's ribs.
Real.
They are great. And have a good night. And thank you,
All
Gerald.
right. Thank y'all, baby.
All right, thank you, everybody. Bye.